files?
Not every single file, no.
Do you think that maybe...
but you're suggesting that a crime was committed and that the Biden administration chose not to charge him,
I'm suggesting that we should probably see the other half of the files that haven't been released yet.
A position you only magically started to take in the last 2 years, not one during the Biden administration. How did the Merrick Garland...
So let me explain that.
How did that mean?
While Joe Biden was in office, he prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell, and she's serving a 20-year prison sentence. So let me ask you,
who should be...
So let me ask you, why did Todd Blanche meet with Ghislaine Maxwell and move her from the prison that she was in Florida to the low security prison in Texas?
Who should be charged now?
Well, tell you what, once we see the files, we see the files, I can let you know.
Of the files that you've seen so far.
Why are you defending? Why are you defending suppressing 3 million files?
You're only interested in this because you know that you can use this to try to go after the president.
Why are you protecting?
You guys didn't care about this for 4 years for a reason.
Why are you
currently?
And then the
second that anyone calls out the hypocrisy, you say you're defending pedophiles.
You are not, because you're not.
This is what we call deflection. This is what we call gaslighting. This is what we call lies. This is what we call deceitfulness. And we all know the devil is very deceitful, right? You know how in the book of Revelation, I think it's chapter 17. Chapter 17. Don't quote me on this. Let's skip the whore of Babylon. Let's skip her. And let's go straight into the Antichrist. The spirit of all spirits are easily touching these individuals who believe that, well, I wouldn't call Trump the Antichrist because, number one, I don't call an 80-year-old the Antichrist. I would never call an 80-year-old man who's hallucinating and losing it, and acting like a crybaby, the Antichrist, because we all know who Trump is. We can always debunk what he says. He's just reading from a teleprompter. And by the way, that was sloppy work, by the way. He's just reading from a script. We all know that. We ourselves are waiting for the big head honcho. Because if this man is not impeached sooner than later, if he is not impeached, right? I can just imagine the next person who comes behind Trump in the on the Republican side and becomes much worse than him. Much worse. Because again, for those who are Obama lovers, for those who love Obama, you might want to plug your ears. If we Black people can't hold Obama accountable, what made you think in 2016 we were going to hold Donald Trump accountable to the same exact things, or if not different? If we can't hold Obama accountable, what makes you think that it was going to go to Trump? Because you let the American people, let them know is of saying what? He can ignore me. He can ignore police brutality. He can ignore all the things upon the land. And he is still my man. So the next person and then the next person and the next person who comes into the White House, what makes you think that you can hold Donald Trump to any type of responsibility or any type of accountability? Why do you think that he has immunity? Because of the Supreme Court. It wasn't because of the Supreme Court justices. Oh, no. Money, power, and resources is what the rich have. And if you can't, for one, get this through your head, that a vote is going to matter at this particular time, something is very wrong. But the only way I can see out of our situation is through voting through an entire new voice, through an entire new clan, an entire younger, stronger base, because the generation that's coming up now, they're tired. They are tired, they are confused, and they want answers. They want answers immediately. And all Trump has got to do is come in, give the same raggedy ass speech, the same ones from years ago. They stole our election. He stole my election. Obama. Obama didn't do nothing to you. You lose a foot, it's Obama's fault. You get into a car accident, it's Obama's fault. And I'll explain this. I'll explain the reason, how the SAVE Act and Obama come hand in hand. I'll explain that a little later.
Why are you not demanding the release of these files? Who do you have to protect?
Of the files that have been released so far, who should be charged? Based on anyone yet?
Here is what
I'm asking that question. Have you seen anything in this particular?
So has the Trump administration released any
of the files that you've seen? I'm simply asking.
And I'm going to answer.
Have you seen any evidence of a crime yet? Or is the argument that, well, we haven't seen all the files, so the additional files might have some crime there?
That's usually how it works.
Okay, so but you're saying to this point that there has not been. So I guess my
well, I don't know, because we've also had co-conspirator information redacted, and not to mention this information exposed.
Is your argument that Merrick Garland and his DOJ, they saw evidence and they chose not to pursue?
They prosecuted
everybody.
I was in the Merrick Garland DOJ, so why don't you allow me to answer this question? For any investigation, the U.S. Attorney's Office handles it. Mm-hmm. They believe that in the Trump administration that Jeffrey Epstein got a deal that he shouldn't have had, right? That is being investigated. I believe Congress is investigating it. I don't know if DOJ is looking at it. The issue with the survivors right now is that any time that there is new evidence, they should be getting that over to the FBI. They do not feel confident that the FBI is looking into it. When I was at the Justice Department, this issue was not raised for us from the Epstein survivors. And if it was raised, and actually if it was raised in one of 12 congressional hearings that Merrick Garland had, he would have absolutely met with these survivors. I will say the time that this whole thing was politicized was when Donald Trump felt that there were Democrats on some sort of Epstein list. He was not looking for justice. What he wanted is he wanted to embarrass them. And
I agree with you.
And he wanted to release that. And so did Pam Bondi, because Pam Bondi needed to do whatever he wanted.
I totally agree with that.
All this talk and nothing about the victims. You see, this is the reason why I couldn't be. See, I'm trying out for county commissioner. There, I said it. It's all out there. I don't know if I can be any higher than what I want to, in the future want to be. If someone were to pay me a lot of money, I don't think I could get it. I don't think I want it. You know why? Because again, the lies, the deceitfulness, the wickedness of it. Why can't you just come out and say, okay, we're gonna put some stuff to the side and just build an investigation, blah, 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 blah. It's not as easy as it seems, because you got idiots like these. And if you can't see what I'm looking at, then just go to CNN late nights and just start scrolling. It's the same shit. It's the same stuff. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. For those who are just coming in, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it in a slow burner type like sense, because I want to make sense, if any, of this administration along with this government. I mean, we all know the government is trash, but in nowadays, in now the world that we live in right now, some of these people will actually stand by government. Why? I don't know. I do not know. Trump wants a state-based takeover. A state-based takeover, because he's somewhat a Christian nationalist, and technically he's not a Christian, but I digress. And he wants America to be the absolute same. It's a contradiction, but at any hoot. If this were, people would argue, if this were a Democratic hurrahs again, like it was last time under Sleepy Joe, and I don't take kindly under Sleepy Joe either. Sleepy Joe meaning Joe Biden. It would be more colorful thing, if you know what I mean. You know, I don't want to offend anyone from the alphabet culture. I don't want to offend anybody. Oh, thanks for the star. Thank you very much. Thank you. I don't want to offend anyone or offend anyone. I don't want to offend you. So it is what it is. We're just trying to make sense of this thing, and none of this shit's making any sense at all.
Ever seen that list? And when she saw that list, it was unfortunate, but Donald Trump was all over it. There is the politics of this, and there is the investigation piece of it.
Sure.
And when there is new information, when there is new information, the FBI has the responsibility to look into it. Whether or not they make charges, that is up to the FBI whether they have that evidence. But the survivors do not feel that they are being listened to by the FBI. And in that meeting, when they asked why was Ghislaine Maxwell put in a low security prison, Todd Blanche did not want to answer that question.
Can Todd Blanche talk about open investigations with them?
Todd Blanche,
no, Todd can't.
He can't talk about that. But don't you find it is very odd and it is unprecedented for a deputy attorney general to go meet with any sort of defendant at a jail? And what he wanted from Ghislaine Maxwell was he wanted Ghislaine Maxwell to say something to ensure that Donald Trump was innocent. And that is why he ended up putting her in a low security prison.
All right, we've got to end this conversation.
We all agree the worst job in the world would be Donald Trump's attorney general.
Yes.
It'd be rough. It has been rough. Well, we've seen what happened.
You know, nothing goes past you, Barb. Nothing that I say goes past you. This is it. You'll be safe. This has nothing to do with county commissioner, but that is very noble. I've been through that role too once I retired. I'm just saying that I don't think I want anything further than that. That's all I'm saying. I don't want anything further than that, because number one, I don't want to be lied to. Number two, I don't want to lie to anyone. I'm going to tell you the truth, and if it's going to make me lose my job, then so be it. If a woman comes to me and she says she's being raped by somebody, I'm going to report it to someone. And it's always somebody on the right that can't keep their hands to themselves. But we got people on the left who sexually aroused all the time. It's just, what are we doing, people? Do we not care enough to lower the prices of gas Do we not care enough to lower the cost of rent? Those days are over. I'm just saying, until, a friend of mine said this a while back. I understood that the first time. A friend of mine said this a while back. Unless this economy collapses, we're going to have to completely start over again. We have our own money. I know, because we keep reprinting it. We have our own oil, but we keep stealing it. But Trump is doing all that he can to be one of the big boys, the Bilderbergs of the world. He wants to be the Bilderbergs. He wants to be in that particular class. The Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs. He wants to be in that number before he croaks. It's no secret. It's no secret. It is no secret. And people need to put their political shades on. People just need to start putting their political shades, because this is not a moral issue. This is about money. If this person, think about it, if we have a face, because Obama wasn't going to do it, if we have this particular face in office to expand or strengthen our rise, our cultural rise, cult meaning, cult meaning you believe in you're part of a nation, you're part of this particular group. But these people keep interfering because they keep letting them into the country and blah, blah, blah. I mean, we have no more room to ride our horses. We have no more room. You keep bringing them into the country. We have no more room. They keep taking jobs. And I'm sure you've seen one of my shorts where Donald Trump said that these black jobs are being taken away. And it was like, and then people was like, what black jobs are you talking about? It's like, the black job is any job that is. Okay. All right. So are we a part of those black jobs? Because according to where I don't know about y'all, I live in the state of Nevada. I don't know about y'all, but everywhere else, you have whites, you have Asians, Hispanics, Afro-Latinas, blacks here, blacks there, and they're taking over black jobs? Interesting. Very, very interesting. Well, I don't know. None of this makes any sense, as we can see. Correct.
With prior attorney general. So we'll see what happens with Todd Blanche and if he is able to cross the line with one Republican sort of in the balance right now.
Todd Blanche and Jay Clayton were grilled on Capitol Hill today, trying to convince senators that they could be the next attorney general and the next director of national intelligence, respectively.
I do believe it should be independent of the president, and that the attorney general should serve the United States, be loyal to the Constitution, and therefore to the people. But it hasn't seemed that way in the time he's been the deputy attorney general, now the acting attorney general. He seems to continue to feel as if he's the president's lawyer. In so many ways, I have found his performance disappointing, to say the least. And I can give you some of the reasons for that. People he's gone after without much justification seem to be the president's perceived enemies, as if the president is saying, please prosecute the following people. And that's
Which
not.
he has
He said it.
said.
He said,
He has in fact said that. Yeah.
well, he said it directly to Pam
Yeah,
Bondi. He
Pam
said, I
Bondi,
want you
yeah.
to do this. But even since Blanche's,
Did you know that upon his speech that, and we can just douse this, did you know upon his speech that he wanted Obama arrested? He took away my SAVE Act. He took away my American SAVE Act. Thank you for the star yet again. Thank you for the star, my brother. Thank you for the star. He took away my Save American Act. I wanted a full investigation and have him fired. I want him fired. Yes, I want him fired. I want him gone. And plus, you might as well get rid of Sleepy Joe. Get rid of Sleepy Joe. He stole my my election. He stole it. He stole it in China. China was interfered, China's definitely interfered. And I have evidence of that where, China has internet too, China has data too, Maybe not this. I mean, I don't know how it works, but that is that. I mean, we all knew this. But you were just looking up things. You found out of centuries of presidencies, you found four things or four timelines. Four timelines that in these investigations you found 0.0000000.1. Like, make it make sense to me. And we have our guest of tonight, if she is on. Lisa, you here? I'm not good at introductions. I'm not really good at introductions. I'll just give you what it is. Lisa, you here? Lisa, you're on mute. Hello. While she gets her mic together, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribes to the channel. Today overseas, they are destroying his popularity and unaliving our soldiers. That's because he doesn't know how to keep his damn mouth shut. He doesn't know how to stay off social media or True Social. He doesn't know how to stay off True Social. He doesn't know how to tell a straight truth. He doesn't know how to tell the truth. This is the reason why he was supposedly assassinated, or he was allegedly getting assassinated by. People over there were upset, but who's gonna actually come over? He's not dumb enough to go over there to Iran and have them slow cook him. He's not that stupid. I mean, he's stupid, but he ain't that stupid. And they ain't gonna be stupid enough to come over to the United States and put his hands on him. They're not dumb. But I mind you that if this keeps up and we lose, we piss off the wrong people. China being one of them, because they do deduct business with China, and they do deduct business with Russia, and they do deduct business with Pakistan. That's 4 months. Can't cuss. That's 4 countries or whatever. I don't want no smoke with China, and China don't want no smoke with us. When you're in the desert, drink as much water as you possibly can. So anyway, no, I'm okay. All right, hard head make a soft ass. I'm telling you, he's not. He can't get Obama evicted. What do you believe? Why do you believe that this white boy can get Donald Trump evicted? Lisa, you there? Why don't you come out, go out and come back in? Go out and come back in. I don't. Two things are certain, one thing is true. Trump can't see Obama. Trump can't see anybody, to be perfectly honest with you. I remember when Jesse Ventura did that interview, and it's like he told the absolute honest truth. If those who don't remember, he said Donald Trump doesn't fight. He doesn't have the mental or physical makeup to fight. I mean, number one, he's fat and sloppy. Number two, he don't have hands. And number three, he would rather pay somebody to do his dirty work for him, which he has done. He has seldomly done. But he can sure get him some cat. He can sure get him some cat, some meow. Because he has what? Money. But, American women rarely want anything to do with him. So what does he do? He goes overseas to get his women. And if his father wasn't such a traitorous mule, not his father, but his grandfather wasn't such a traitorous mule, and because he didn't want to join the military, he ended up fleeing to America. But when he came, of course, he had some business here, and he was somewhat successful here. But when he got married and came back, Germany said, and he was begging and pleading and begging and pleading and begging and pleading. Oh, thank you for the alert. Thank you. Thank you for the alert. Thank you for the alert, Conrad. Thank you so much. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. But I'm gonna try to keep this going on as long as I can. But I'm just waiting for my lovelies. I'm gonna send her the link again so we can have the conversation. And if listen, we gonna slow cook this thing. We're going to slow cook this thing. We're going to slow cook this roast. Because we're going to have a party. And oh, by the way, this is the reason why I'm so sick of Trump. We got to do these stupid ass fireworks yet again this week. 4th of July is over. The 4th of July is completely over. Why do we have to constantly do fireworks? To celebrate the 250th anniversary. For what? Lisa? Please. Unmute. Hello. Hello. I see you. Hello. You gotta give her a minute. Hello. Whenever you're ready, you just blast off. Ouch, ouch. They got to do this. Yeah, you take. Thanks a lot, man, Cohaven. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the share. Let's get the subscribers up. And and if you can, out of the kindness of your hearts, let's get some memberships. Let's get some memberships up. You already got one. Let's get another one. Let's get number one. I'm feeling kind of lucky today. Lisa, you there? Are you on mute? Check to see if you're on mute. That's one of the most idiotic. This is more. You probably using are you using your pad again? You know you can always use your phone. What did she say? You can't. No, I cannot hear you unless unless your volume's down. Turn your volume up. It keeps telling me to reload. Well, reload again. I'll send you the link. I will send you the link. These people ain't got nothing to do. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And these are some lovely individuals because they some of these people actually know more answers more than I do. But so far, I had one person answer the question, and that is, do you believe that this government, along with this administration, is corrupted? That's one of my leading questions. That's one of my leading questions. Do you think this government is corrupted? Big bro, be easy. Yes, be easy on the people. I'm gonna try to, my guy. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna definitely try to. And I want you to give me some reasons why that you think that this government is corrupt. And I will answer as many questions as I possibly can. But first, didn't we do that? It's Vegas. Barb, it's Vegas. I'm sure you've been to Vegas. Every casino is going to do it. Every casino. Why do we got to do fireworks? Poof, 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 poof. It's like, this is the reason why I hate the 4th of July. And speaking of 4th of July, anybody who celebrates the 4th of July, I'm going to pay for a psychologist for you because the insanity is off the roof. No persecution? On who? Let me get this invite to her once again because she just needs to reload. I don't know what she needs to reload. Let's see what she needs to reload. Alright, I send in the link yet again. Keep it done for us. Keep the same. Let's for a second. Okay. All right. She's gonna get in here one way or the other, even if I have to do some other things. But anyway, let's keep this thing going. How many of y'all seen Trump's big announcement? How many of y'all seen Trump's big announcement? Let me know in the comment section. Hello. I see you. You are on. Hopefully, you are not on mute. Let me see if I can help you out. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can help you out. All screens. Microphone. No device. Keep audio. No, do I have to do the audio? No. Show the camera. Got you. Got you. Lisa, you there? Damn, where'd you go? Hello. Hello. Now, those are two. Hello. Come off mute. Come off mute. Let me see. Let's see. Let me see if I wait a minute. Okay. While I wait a second, I'm gonna entertain the guest. Did y'all see the Trump the big thing that Trump did the other day? Let me see. Let me see if I can look for it so we can be entertained yet again by the big announcement that wasn't even a big announcement. It was just the same complaint over and over and over again. But I don't even know why we get upset. I don't even know why we attack Trump as much as we do. Quite frankly, I blame myself. I do blame myself. Because it's not just about Trump. It's I blame Congress for this too.
Good evening. Before we begin, I'm proud to report that our country is safer, stronger, and far wealthier than it has ever been before. We are doing great. Less than 2 years ago, we inherited an economic and social disaster. After the worst inflation in 48 years, the wide open borders with millions and millions of people pouring in from all over the world, including criminals of all types, and 11,888 murders, many of whom killed more than one person. We had transgender for everybody, men and women's sports, crime ravaging our cities,
Chrome's better.
and the whole world was laughing at us as a nation, but not anymore. 2 years ago, our country was dead. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. America is respected like we have never been respected before. We have more money being invested in the United States than at any time in the history of our country. More Americans are working today than ever before.
For those who
This week it was announced that inflation saw the largest monthly decline in more than 6 years. Just happened. Just given out. The media reported it, and we accepted the best in 6 years. The tax cuts in our great, big, beautiful bill are saving hardworking families thousands and thousands of dollars, like with the provisions, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors.
How are we going to have tax on tips when the capacity is no more than, I would say, not even 200? I'll give it under 200 at least. On a Friday or Saturday night, maybe more than that. But damn, you eliminated us from having any guests from Canada. Canada is boycotting. Canada is boycotting. They're not coming back. They're not coming back until Trump is gone. As Black Americans As Black Americans, we are for Trump. As a Black American, you are a fool. But I digress. Anyway.
Along with the interest deduction on a loan used to purchase a car, but only if that car is made in America, and a 100% expensing for our job-creating businesses. Our stock markets are at their highest point.
And I mean no disrespect, but you are foolish to believe that Trump is going to do anything for you. I don't know where that ideology came from. It must have came from Tariq or something like that, but Tariq is just as dumb. He's just as dumb as just as foul. But then again, he doesn't have to worry about that. All he has to do is collect the money and go to his mansion and sit back and relax and enjoy his mansion and worry off. Did you get any checks from Dole yet? There goes your reparations right there. Your Dole. Doles are supposed to be sending you y'all checks. No checks. No checks, no money, no glory, no nothing. So that's that.
In many years, but we can actually say of all time, and your 401ks, pensions, and retirement accounts are setting records every single day, the highest in history. For years, we paid the highest price for prescription drugs anywhere in the world. Now we pay the lowest price under my most favored nations policy, because I was able to get the rest of the world and the pharmaceutical companies to act responsibly. Drug prices are coming down by 70, 80, and 90%. TrumpRx.gov. This will ultimately reduce the cost of healthcare. You have to go to TrumpRx.gov and take advantage.
Let me tell you something. I've been on that website. That shit is so fucking fake. That is so fake. Don't even go. Listen, if you purchase anything from TrumpRx.gov or whatever, you a damn fool. Do not purchase any. I looked at that website. I'm like, huh? These drugs. It's a damn scandal. They got drugs that I've never even heard before. They got syringes I've never seen before. That whole website is garbage. It's trash. It is soft as baby shit, bruh. That's if you go on that way, I swear before all that is holy, if you go on that website and you purchase something and you don't get it, that's on you. That is on, both, but I need to be on the PC so I can let Lisa in. And right now it's not looking like it's not looking like it because I didn't press this button. Okay. My bad. I didn't press the button. Now I did press the button. Let's see if you can come on in. Come on in, Lisa. So you can start frying me. Because I know you got a lot to say. But back to this. It is so ridiculous. This site is linked to a third party that Mark Cuban's service. What? At Mark Cuban's service, they cloned it. They cloned Mark Cuban's website? Look at Mark Cuban's pharmacist. Well, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. Did y'all get your phones yet? Did you get your phones? Did you get your shoes? This dude is goofy, man. And why do you support a guy like this? He doesn't care about the American people. He doesn't care. This is how you make money. The illusions, the lies, the deceitfulness. And y'all get mad at me for going against a person like this? When it came to the Save America Act, let me see if it works. Please say it works. Hello. Hello. Try to go on mute. Go off mute. Go off mute. Go off mute. Do you have your mic even on? Hopefully you have your mic on. So this is some stupid shit. This is some stupid shit. If I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. You're either on mute or you didn't accept your mic. Either you didn't accept your mic, you don't have your mic on, or you're on your laptop or something like that. What does it say? I've been blocked. That's because you didn't accept your mic. That's why. You're supposed to accept the audio. Go in, restart, come back, go on to a different, or if you can't go on to Chrome, go on to a different server like Bing, Bing, and start over. And this time, accept your mic. Accept the audio, I mean.
Advantage of it, but the cost of healthcare is coming way down because of what we've done with prescription drugs. And with Trump accounts, every child in America now has access to a tax-free investment account to save for their future. Billions and billions of dollars are being invested, put in by companies and individuals to take care of our children so that at age 18, they will have potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in their account, and they'll get off to a great start in life. So for that, go to trumpaccounts.gov and sign up your child or any child you'd like to sign up. Our previously wide open borders have been...
I just want to say, Barb, for the record, you love blaming me for everything. That's why I love you so much, because you love blaming me for every little thing.
Transformed into the most secure borders in the history of our country, with 0 illegal aliens being admitted to the United States in the past 14 months. That is 0. Nobody thought it was possible. We had the worst border in the history of our country, and now we have the best. Crime is plummeting nationwide, with the murder rate at its lowest level since 1900, or more than 125 years ago. We're making a record investment in our armed forces, and we have the strongest and most powerful military by far.
Lisa? What? I didn't say anything. You know what you said. Lisa. Now I don't see her. Let me see. Lisa. Just undo your mic.
Anywhere in the world. I built it during my first term, and unfortunately, we're forced to use it now. We won in Venezuela, which is now working with us to produce millions and millions of barrels of oil. We are likewise winning big in Iran, and you will see the fruits of that labor very, very shortly. America is back and doing really well, but we still have a major challenge that must be urgently addressed, because no country can be great without fair and honest elections. You have to trust your country, because if there can be no trust, there can be no greatness. And that's very...
By the way, inflation has been the highest it's ever been under this administration. And that's fact.
Very simple. No trust, no greatness. For many years, I've called for bold, swift, and decisive action to protect the integrity of America's elections. Every American deserves to know that when they cast their vote, that vote will be counted accurately in a system, and that is...
Yes. Yes. Get off mute. I mean, I see you, but your audio is... Barb, tell her how to work the audio. Let me see if I can work it on my end. Jesus. Let me see if I can work it on my end. Let's see. The screens. Microphone. You don't have your mic on. No device. No nothing. But then you left. Why did you leave? Why did you leave? I was gonna work some kinks, but you left. God damn it.
To make that system secure, one where cheating and interference are not just difficult, but virtually impossible. Unfortunately, the system we have today falls catastrophically short of that standard. Tonight, I'm announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election infrastructure. This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerously exposes, and really exposes like levels never thought possible, to hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference. Just as disturbingly, this vital information has for many years been covered up and hidden from you, the American people, our beautiful, our great American people. But that all changes right now. The documents we will release starting tonight have been gathered by the White House Government Transparency Task Force, a great group of people, along with the staff of the President's Intelligence Advisory Board, supported by our top intelligence agency chiefs, who have all personally reviewed the findings. We are presenting this evening and fully confirmed their authenticity. You can see these documents for yourself at whitehouse.gov. That's whitehouse.gov. Go check it out. Our purpose in disclosing this information is not to weaken confidence in election, but to earn that confidence by confronting vulnerabilities and correcting them very, very quickly. And that's what we're doing. The documents cover 5 major areas of concern. First, they show that over a period of years, starting during the 2020...
I told you, you have to restart. You have to restart everything. Just go, if you're on your laptop or if you're on your phone, just restart and go on a different server. Go on a different server and start over again. That's it. And accept the audio. That's all.
2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history, resulting in China's illicit acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files. That information includes names, addresses, phone numbers, political party preferences, and other sensitive data. that would be needed to register to vote
Like, share,
and
subscribe,
engage
like,
in
share,
other
subscribe.
nefarious activities, which is exactly what was happening. This data loss presents an unprecedented election security nightmare. The intelligence even shows that China assigned a data exploitation unit specifically to this new project. Compounding the travesty, the second set of documents we are releasing reveals that members of the deep state, very, very famous group of people, many cases, in our intelligence agency work to actively suppress and downplay information about the extent of China's sinister election meddling, covering it up from both the president and the American people like nobody thought was possible. U.S. spy agencies began learning about the compromise of voter registration files in 2020 when they discovered that tens of millions of voter data, think of that, tens of millions of voters' data in 18 states have been bought, stolen, or hacked by China. Yet those responsible for sounding the alarm instead kept the information secret and hidden. They did not disclose to me as president or to anyone else, and to the best of our knowledge, they did not inform Congress. In fact, all they kept saying is, this is the most secure election in the history of our country. A standard, very pat line that was divvied out to say. The cover-up of this colossal security breach is even more disturbing in light of the additional information showing that China engaged in other election-related activities to undermine my first administration and our 2020 campaign. They did not want, and they just didn't want it. They fought like hell not to have it, Donald Trump, to win, and for good reason. As the documents we are releasing show, CIA reporting explicitly stated, and I quote, in mid-2018, the Chinese Communist Party's policy was to leverage all domestic and foreign elements that were opposed to the U.S. president in an effort to reduce the U.S. president's votes and make him resign or prevent his re-election. Isn't that nice? Also, in mid-2018, China was working to influence the results of the U.S. midterm elections and later the results of the 2020 presidential election itself. Separately, in
You notice that what he is speaking right now, he's been speaking this ever since his first term. The thing about it is, he's trying to make his people believe in the fairy tale. But yet, throughout the investigations, they couldn't find nothing. Absolutely nothing. He's doing this. And he's doing this, and when he speaks, just in case you didn't listen to it, or just in case this slid by you because you didn't want to listen to him in the first place. And hey, I don't blame you. I don't blame you, because he puts, just like he goes to sleep in meetings, I go to sleep. So he'll tell you the reason why he's doing this. He'll tattletale on himself.
2019, the Chinese government's strategy against the United States was focused on undermining domestic confidence in the U.S. president. They wanted to just make you sound like your president wasn't so hot, when actually your president has done a great job, and they did everything possible to do exactly that. Going on, this document says, and this is by the CIA, the strategy included efforts to use Chinese contacts with big U.S. companies to influence U.S. business leaders to turn against the President of the United States of America. The Chinese government sought to identify U.S. journalists who had reported negatively on the U.S. president and pay them large sums of money to write more negative articles about him, as many as they could, and they didn't care what they said. The Chinese government wanted U.S. president to lose the next election, and the reason they wanted me to lose is because they knew I was wise to them. charged them billions and billions of dollars worth of tariffs, and built the strongest military anywhere in the world. We have the strongest military anywhere in the world. These are exact quotes from the CIA reporting. The name of the person doing the quote is now under review, but it gets even worse. Raw intelligence obtained by the FBI in 2020, yet buried by rogue bureaucrats, stated that China's activities even included an attempt to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe Biden. Documents show that during this period, dozens of significant CIA and NSA reports about China's election targeting were kept out of the presidential briefing. These were briefings I would get almost every day. Everything was kept out that was of importance. One email among intelligence analysts admitted that they had, quote, deliberately massaged the presidential daily briefing to withhold information regarding Chinese activities related to the election. Another official inside the FBI wrote that she was running, quote, a shadow government, unquote, to keep intelligence about China's election meddling from becoming known and to keep it away from the honorable press. Other officials who witnessed such efforts perceived the motivations to be blatantly political. Recently, we found significant numbers of burn bags in formation, and this is a group of bags that were used to destroy information given by President Barack Hussein Obama to be burned. It was supposed to be burned. These bags were supposed to be at a different level by different people, incinerated and checked, but it never happened. Maybe we got lucky. We believe this was not done on purpose, but rather through gross incompetence of the people that were supposed to burn the bags. But the findings are stunning. Today, I'm asking the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the CIA to investigate how and why such crucial information was hidden, to fire those involved in the cover-up, and to file criminal charges, if appropriate, against these people. Yet concealing China's meddling was only the beginning. The third set of documents we are releasing proves that for many years, Americans were blatantly lied to about the security of our election infrastructure, including electronic voting machines and ballot counting systems, dishonest, almost all. They're vulnerable and they're easily compromised, and people within our government knew that. Tonight, we're publishing a series of previously classified U.S. intelligence community assessments and other reports proving that our government has long known these machines are extremely exposed to attack. As one assessment states, we judge that the United States adversaries, including at a minimum Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, as well as non-state groups, have the capability to compromise U.S. election infrastructure. That's unquote, but that's some statement, isn't it, made by supposedly great patriots of our country. The document goes on to further state that, quote, we assess that centralized election-related data repositories, such as voter registration databases, poll books, and other official election websites, are most vulnerable to exploitation, and adversaries could use this access to these systems to disrupt election processes within the United States of America. Tonight, we're releasing all of those findings, and spanning from January 2020 to June 2026. This is a cyber threat aimed at the very heart of our democracy. Many people have questioned whether it could actually be possible to electronically manipulate vote totals or change election results on these terrible machines. Today, we are releasing documents that show the CIA obtained reporting of a specific plot to do a big number in favor of the corrupt Maduro regime in Venezuela. And that's exactly what happened, conspiring to digitally rig their own country's elections in 2020, and that's what they did. This report.
Did you know that when Trump graduated college, I forgot what college he went to, he deemed himself above the dean's list when actual fact he was not on the dean's list at all? Smart guy.
Included precise details about methods to regime develop to digitally alter vote totals in ways that could not be detected even with an audit, no matter how deep they went. This intelligence underscores why we must take urgent action to ensure that our own system can never, ever be hacked or compromised like it was in the past. The fourth set of documents reveals that even when significant evidence of fraud has been detected, it has been buried and covered up. Among the disclosures tonight are FBI files detailing evidence of alleged fraud by a large-scale voter registration operation in Michigan. In 2020, Michigan State Police raided a Democrat Get Out the Vote organization, corrupt group in Muskegon. And we're so concerned by what they found. They were just so concerned, they couldn't believe it, actually, that they contacted the FBI in Detroit. The documents state that some canvassers admitted to FBI agents that they signed voter registration forms in other people's names, submitted fraudulent registration for people who did not exist, and received gift cards tied to their number of applications that they produced. In other words, it was pay, play, and cheat. The FBI agents working on the case believe that crimes were committed, yet the Biden Department of Justice slow-walked the investigation and killed it. Tonight, I'm asking the FBI director to ensure that the matter is fully investigated and to work with the Department of Justice to prosecute those responsible for any crimes. Finally, to reveal just how vulnerable our elections continue to be, we are releasing the results of a stunning investigation by the Department of Homeland Security. According to the DHS review, state voter rolls and public records, they identified approximately 278,000 non-citizens who are registered to vote in federal elections. Since Democrat states refuse to share their voter files, the real number is actually much higher than that. Yet, even this limited analysis found more than 250,000 foreigners illegally registered to vote. Put together, these disclosures reveal an election system so broken and so vulnerable that no one can possibly defend it. It is not defensible. Hundreds of millions of U.S. voter files are in the hands of foreign governments. Our machines and ballot counting systems are exposed to hacking and manipulation and corruption. China and other countries have been trying to meddle in our elections. Evidence of fraud has been buried. Hundreds of thousands of non-citizens and dead people are listed and active on the voter rolls. And yet we still have elections with no voter ID, no proof of citizenship, and tens of millions of ballots floating aimlessly through the mail. As one example of the insanity, California's recent election for mayor of LA and governor was held on June 2nd, long time ago, but it was just completed a few days ago on July 10th. Think of that, much more than 1 month. Took a month to count the votes. I wonder what they were doing. This is worse than any third world country. There's no third world country that has elections like we have. In a rare move, NBC and ABC fake news have both said that they would not cover this speech. They knew what it was about because of the fact that they don't like the topic, because they know how corrupt our system is and they don't want to reveal it. They and others in the media are part of a plot. They want to continue this fraud for whatever reason. They want to keep it going. They want to protect the radical left. They can't have a great country, and that's true. You can't have a great country without free and fair elections. Fraud like this should mean a revocation of their licenses, They use our public multi-billion-dollar in value airways for absolutely no money. They pay nothing. All we want is honesty in our elections and honesty in reporting. They pay nothing for multi-billion-dollar assets. Great damage has been done to our country. Our elections were left vulnerable to being rigged and stolen, and the trust of the American people was lost. This cannot be allowed to continue. Every American, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, or otherwise, should be able to agree that we deserve the most secure, honest, and fair election system anywhere in the world. Secure elections should be a partisan, we should be together. Democrats, Republicans, Independents, everybody. And it should not be a partisan issue. It should cause to unite us, not to divide us. This should be a cause. We should be united, not divided. In light of
But you're the one that's doing all the division. Make it make sense. You're the one that's causing all this division. You're the one that's causing all these people, including the farmers of America, to go bankrupt and to lose their farmlands. You're the one that's actually doing this. And even people in your own party are looking at you real, like, got the ugly faces, like, what are you doing? And your voters are looking at you crazy. It's like, this is not the guy that I voted for. This is not the guy that said that he was going to, what did he say? Sweep the farmlands or something that he said. Something he said, something to that degree. But anyway, he said a whole bunch of stuff. He said he was going to lower prices and that, you were going to get stimulus checks and clear the swampland. That's what he said he was going to do. Clear the swampland. Now let's see if this thing is working. Yes, you finally accepted the mic, didn't you?
No, I switched devices.
No, well, that works.
Well, I actually will. I'm in another device. Basically resetting the permission for the mic. But in the meantime, I decided to try this device. So this works for now. I've got to remember, because if you remember, we've had this issue before.
Yes.
Every time I have this same issue, so I won't remember, and I'll remember in the future. Just forget using it on my phone and use my tablet, one of my tablets.
Okay, well, let me play the rest of this. This is not going to even take long. It's almost done. Him rambling, and it's not going to even matter much. So I'm gonna go on mute, and I'm gonna continue to play the video. This is.
Which stream am I in?
You're on Restream.
I understand that, but one stream has 45 people watching, and another has 3 people. And right now, I can't see the chat.
Well, you're with Barb right now. And
okay, I want to.
Yeah, you're with Barb right now. And Barb
says thanks.
Huh?
I said, hey sis, thanks.
Yeah. Why don't you get the woman's number? You know you want to you don't want to chit chat. Just get the woman's number at the end. Hey. Anyway.
Of the brand new and irrefutable information I have revealed tonight, my administration is in the process of notifying the states whose election data was compromised by the People's Republic of China and many others. We will be working closely to mitigate any harm, and we're taking swift action to ensure that sensitive voter data is better protected so we can never be bought, we can never be hacked, and we can never watch a stolen election again. Tomorrow, the Secretary of Homeland Security will hold a briefing to outline his department's recent work confirming cyber vulnerabilities in our electronic voting systems. They are bad. We're in the process of informing governors, senators, and members of Congress of potential issues in their states. If you look at voting today, it's in such bad shape in so many states, and we are committing to fix it. And we're also committing to be working with those states and local jurisdictions to help them fix and patch known technical vulnerabilities before the midterm elections. We have very important elections coming up. We want those elections to be honest. I've also ordered DHS to notify every state about non-citizens on their voter rolls and direct them to remove all ineligible voters from the lists immediately. But most importantly, addressing this crisis of election security demands that Congress must pass the Save America Act. How easy is that to do unless you want to cheat? The only reason you wouldn't do it is you want to cheat because your policies are so bad and your candidates are so pathetic that you can't get away or can't get elected any other way. This landmark bill requires that all voters must show photo voter ID. How simple is that? Could I have your photo, please? Photo voter ID. All voters must provide proof of citizenship. Are you a citizen of our country, please? And hopefully there will be no corrupt mail-in ballots, which if you watched California and so many other places, mail-in ballots are inherently corrupt. So you would have no mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military deployment, or travel if you're going away on business or vacation. These reforms are urgently needed to stop the vulnerabilities that I've mentioned. To all Americans, I ask you to pick up your phone tomorrow, call your representatives in the House and Senate, and demand that they pass the Save America Act without delay. Together we will restore faith and confidence in our country, and we will be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Thank you. God bless you. God bless our great military, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
Well, you heard all that. I don't know what else. It's just same old delivery. Same old delivery as 2020. Lisa, you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do I begin?
Yes. Fire away.
Okay. First, let me try to do this for Barb. What I suggest is go to Locke's page, his email, and send him an email so he gets your email address, and he can give you my email and phone number. How does that sound? Does that work? Can you do it that way?
That sounds like a winner to me.
Yeah, because neither one of us want to put our information in these chats, with these unstable people.
Well, not all of them are unstable. Some of them are very
Enough of them are
tender.
I don't want
hearted individuals. And they like who they love.
He does either. I don't mind prosecuting personally.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the gifts. Very, very charming.
You just know how much I love you. I would never spend this amount of time. Do you realize how long But remember, you and Bob, remember for the future, if I forget, just don't use my phone to try to enter Restream.
No.
It's blocked for the time being, and I don't know. I'll dibble and dabble with it, trying to see if I can unblock it when we're not in the middle of a live. But just in case that doesn't, what you say? What you say?
No, this dude said, Mr. Henderson, you's a special person, cause you virtual hug is like, you so special. You calling me retarded, nigga? You calling me retarded? Huh? You calling me retarded? But going back to this.
Well, how about I just start where we left off?
Yeah.
A lie doesn't care who tells it. And just because people keep repeating the same lie doesn't make people necessarily believe you. A mountain built on lies has nothing to do except fall. And that is it. Yeah, it will fall. And that is what's going on now. Trump and like-minded people like Trump that refuse to be honest. Because if people are truly going to try to be honest and unbiased, I don't care whether you're Democrat, liberal, or Republican, the best thing to do is get you a piece of paper and write pros on one side and cons on the other. And just start listing these things. When we look at the various things that have happened during this administration, if we go back to 2016 and look at the things that happened with his first administration, you know, it's perplexing. I cannot fathom when I hear him or like-minded people talk about, well, they just had 4 years. Yep, they did. And you had 4 years before that. So let's not start walking the clock back to just Biden's presidency. Let's go back to when you took office and what you didn't do. You didn't even handle the pandemic accurately. You know, oh, this is no big deal. It'll be gone in 2 weeks. Blase and blase and blase. And the lies that Trump and Todd Blanche and Pam Bundy and Kash Patel, Marco Rubio, Hegseth, Kristi Noem, just to name a few. And wait a minute, I can't forget Bassett. Secretary Bassett, you know, most people don't think he is. They know, they all know the truth. You have to realize each president tries to appoint someone to the Supreme Court, look at things and support their ideas so they can do that person's bidding up in the Supreme Court. They know exactly what they've done. There are 13 colonies, so why shouldn't there be 13 Chief Justices? Why should the Supreme Court have a lifetime appointment? Why? For what reason? There are plenty of people who are qualified to be part of the Supreme Court. I think those are one of the major things that the American people need to address, and we need to impose things that are going to be imposable, because they rarely talk about it, but the Supreme Court has a code of ethics as well.
They do.
Nobody enforces it because there is no one to enforce it. Let's look at that. Who exactly is going to make the decision that the Supreme Court did something politically versus legally or constitutionally. It is still up to their determination of the law. And just because they wear that black robe and they're on the Supreme Court doesn't mean they are always right.
I mean, they just remind you of the cotton wigs of back in those times.
The what?
The people in the cotton wigs.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is the founding fathers had the foresight to understand and realize one person should not have a certain amount of power and authority because of the very thing that is going on now. That's not a democracy. That's a dictatorship. That's a king. You tell me, why would it be okay for the President of the United States and his family, and I'm sure that includes any business associates as well, they can profit while having the highest office in the land, president, because the president has authority to make certain things happen. If you go back and you start looking at just things with the war, when the stock market drops immensely, all of a sudden Trump comes out and makes an announcement about negotiation. Then, Scott is a lapdog for him, but he's going down too. You know, he's another billionaire. Just about all the people that Trump has put into these authoritative positions financially, they are lapdogs and they're billionaires as well. They have a special interest in supporting the things that Trump does because most of them are in the 1%.
Let me not forget to let this person know in the chat. Yes, it's called the 5 Negro Presidents. The 5 Negro Presidents. It's in a pink book. Yes, people don't know that. But go ahead and continue, Lisa. She's talking about the first black, the first president was black, which most of us know that already.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't see it in the chat.
That's because
anyway.
The other one.
I really could care less about something trying to deflect because that's the problem as well. That's one of the major issues. You have disruptive people in office. You have corruption that is spreading like a cancer. You have those who think they're smarter than everyone else prey upon people's ignorance. You have to totally be ignorant to think that it's okay for the president to accept a $400,000 plane as a gift when it clearly states you cannot receive gifts. When people sit up and they want to say, well, you know, these criminals or those criminals need to stop killing people. What about the 200 children that died? That blood is on Trump's head because he gave the order. Hegseth gave the order. But they don't look at that as there should be accountability. Well, I don't see why you shouldn't because it wasn't our war. It was not our fight. We had no business there. And when people want to justify something, you get just about anything you want to think of or say. You can twist the words to fit your narrative.
Like what Trump's doing right now is making the people believe the same rhetoric that he has pulled off in 2020. He wants the people to believe in that now, just so he can say, like, he fucked up all my words. He wants people to believe in what he believes, just so that this administration and the Democrats can help save America.
And I concur with you because, like I said, Trump depends on certain people. The country depends on certain people. It's not the rich people that make this country. It's all the poor people. Ask yourself a series of questions. Why is it that you have a single mother working 2-3 jobs? Why is it that you find husbands and sons working 2 to 3 jobs? Answer me, in the poor neighborhoods, why everything is more expensive. Any grocery stores in that area, anything in that area is going to be more expensive. How come you have these credit cards that have like insane interest rates? Because they make money off the people that maybe don't have good credit. And for the argument that someone will be, well, they don't pay their bills. I don't believe that. I believe that people who want to pay their bills, they do pay their bills. But it's like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Why is it that this man can break every law, every rule, simultaneously becoming billions and $billion richer? Ask yourself, why is it that his whole family has increased their monetary value, billions of dollars? You're sitting up and you know nothing about crypto, but you have a crypto business. You're sitting up selling drones to the very country your father-in-law is president of.
How much did he take away from the healthcare? How much money?
Oh, it's been billions, because I think about 2 weeks ago, I heard somewhere that they had cut the WIC program. And I do know that WIC is for children eating or something like that. But the bigger picture is that you have these supporters who look down on what they call criminals, who look down on other people that are educated, that do have jobs. Why is it that all these positions, high-level positions, that women and Black people have been ousted? Not because they're not educated or qualified, but because this administration has decided. You know, are you seriously trying to tell me that a person can work their way up in the military to become a general and you're not going to promote them because they're a Black or they're a woman?
Hold on to that thought, Lisa. If anybody has any questions for me or Lisa, please put them in the chat. And if you're real serious, put $1 behind it if you have any real serious questions. Other than that, all the trolls, I can deal with all the trolls just by this simple click of a button, or I just let my mods handle the business. But if you have any questions, put $1 behind it. Hey, go ahead. Oh, by the way, did you check out that website that I told you about, the Trump RX?
I did look at a little bit of it, and that just goes back to what I originally started out talking about. Corruption, crooks. See, Trump and like-minded people like Kennedy, Bassett, and all that group, they want, and Linda McMahon, they want education private. They don't want any public schools. Because you think about it, if you have to pay for private schools like you do, your children go to private school. Well, everybody can't afford a private school. You have many, many children who go to public schools that go on to be presidents and senators and lawyers and various things. But they want everything to be based upon being rich. When the people below the billionaire status, they are stepping stones. You have these people that think Trump is the greatest at destroying everything. He's an idiot. He has no common sense when it comes to war.
He doesn't care.
Because he let somebody blow hot air up his derriere and make him think, oh yeah, you know, this is going to be like Venezuela. We're just going to be in and out. We're going to kill this man and snatch all the glory. Well, you found out these people are nothing to play with, because if Donald Trump was as bad as he thinks he is, this would have been over.
And you do notice that, well, let's start here, because I don't want to scare anyone. You do know that your gas prices are going up this week, right? Due to all the lies that due to the lie that he already told about the ceasefire, and then in the negotiations, they didn't want to negotiate anything with you because they already know what you wanted. But they already negotiated under Obama, and Obama was successful. That just because you are not who you think you are, the white man's ice is colder, the how do you say it, the great white hype, you wanted to be one of those things, right? Well, it kind of backfired on you when they basically told you no. Just like they told your grandfather no. Just like when they told your father no. They told you no as well. So what did you do? You got a temper tantrum and you say, well, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And these one minute these people are great, the next minute these people are idiots. Well, what you're doing right now is not only making the American people suffer, but you just destroyed, according to news, you just destroyed more American bases. You just eliminated more American bases under this administration. You just destroyed. You just the word that I have to use is unalived more people, more American people. But yet the inflation is great. The inflation is lower than it's ever been.
Well,
am I wrong?
No, I don't think that you are. And I don't think that the majority of the country doesn't get it. That is the problem with the Democratic Party as it stands now, standing with Trump. Even the MAGA people are sitting up saying, well, I made a mistake. You know, the mistake started when people thought, oh, he's going to deport violent criminals that immigrants. They never thought that he was going to target any immigrant that he felt like for any reason. I don't care who you are. When you break into an elderly man's home, snatch him out of his home in his underwear and 10 below, drive him out into the neck of the woods and put him out. Just underwear, no shoes, no coat, no nothing. The man died.
He's dead?
Yes, he did. What you think? 10 below zero just in some underwear? It's not even like
no one ever put out that he died.
Well, I know about it. Google it. He died. How could he not die?
Well, we're talking about the same ICE agents that broke into the man's home.
Same ICE agents that have been wreaking havoc throughout the country that Kamala Harris already had said what Donald Trump was going to do. She said he was going to weaponize the military and these agencies to do his bidding. 32% of Hispanics, men, voted for Trump. Now, the statistics are way down. They're not even in the double digits. When you had these farmers that loved them some Donald Trump until he did away with the government program that Joe Biden had in place that financed the majority of the farmers. And they would use that money to buy whatever they need and recoup their losses once the money starts trickling in. But you don't hear these people, these trolls, and these people in these chats. They're always trying to talk about get a job and this, that, and the other. But they don't talk about, didn't I just tell you there were farmers getting this government money? The farmers didn't think they were talking about them. A lot of white people. What?
I was explaining. Someone was explaining how much do presidents make? And I said over 400,000 a year.
But the rule still is you can't accept this.
No, you can't accept any gift. And you especially can't accept old gifts from people who like the old plane that he has. You can't do that. But then again, this is the thing that I'm asking. I'm asking, is this government corrupted? That's what I'm asking. Is this thing it corrupted? Is something wrong with this administration as a whole? I mean, what could it be? I mean, we could be democratic and something could be wrong with that. It's like, what? I'm trying to figure out what is it. And I know, I kind of know the answer to it, but I just wanted to hear from the people's lips. Because we're all trying to figure this thing out. Some of us already figured it out. Most of us haven't. I mean, these are your words. We won't ridicule you.
It's obvious to people who have a functioning brain to understand that I never said the WIC program was cut. Listen up, P-Brain. I said the program had been cut financially.
Mm-hmm.
You can sit up and think you can guarantee anything you want, but facts are facts, and feelings are feelings, and facts overrule feelings. So when I talk about the farmers, dumber and dumb, you need to look it up.
You must be in the other chair.
The problem, you have people that like to deceive themselves. They like to live in that little small world of Donald Trump. I don't care who it is, to sit up and campaign that you are the candidate of peace. And you have started multiple wars that one person is not going to make the decision for the whole country and have everyone on the side. When you already know the American people, I'm not talking about the little few people in the chat, I'm talking about the statistics do not lie. The majority of this country is not supportive of this war. The majority of the country is not supportive of the things that Donald Trump is doing it. And you can slice and dice it however you want. You can say whatever you want. I don't even know why people are on Joe Biden, because right now, it's not Joe Biden that's destroying the country. It's not Joe Biden that is shunning our allies. It's not Joe Biden that's looking like an idiot, because they don't understand they have generals and military advisors. That is what they do. And you choose not to listen. And now here you are, oh, they didn't negotiate. And, you know, nobody's ever done this. You're right, because nobody was ignorant enough to fall into the trap.
Whoa. Look,
that Obama had done.
If it's not Obama, then it's Bill Clinton. So they're going to go back a couple more decades before they blame Ronald Reagan, or they blame George Washington. They're going to go back decades before you can't win on that. You can't win on that. But they're looking for someone that can give them a great high for a numerous amount of years, because they feel that they've been duped for quite a long time, because people look a little bit different from them per se, and they're the ones that get all the jobs and all this and all that. And I tell you, that's not exactly the case. That's not the exact case at all, because if you look at facts, immigration brings money into this country economically, and they do. I can look straight up. I can look this up factually, and I can tell you that immigrations, when they come into this country, illegal or not, they provide a great benefit to the United States. But we're not the ones bringing them in there.
Say it again.
We're not the ones bringing them in here. Y'all the ones that are bringing them in here to oversee us. But that's a different story for a different day. So the ones that you're bringing in this country, you have complaints about now. And this is but the only thing that you're winning by, percentage-wise, is borders. But then again, ain't nobody paying attention to them damn borders. Ain't nobody paying attention to them, because they can just slide right on in. They can literally just slide right on in and say hello. Or we're stopping 70% of immigrants are committing crimes. I looked up that statistic. 70% of what are committing crimes? I looked at that's zero. That's basically 0%. From New York to Florida to California, that's basically 0%. As a matter of fact, there is a. Do you know a guy named what is his name? Mark McMullen. So we got this knucklehead making threats. What up, Black Money Corp in the building? Black Money Corp in the building. What's up with you, boy? We got this knucklehead making comments, making threats, basically, to all of the United States to basically pass the SAVE Act. This is gonna be cut and dry, or else they will cut off the grants. They'll cut off anything government official, but you can't just basically do that without a long process of paper trails. You can't just go in and just say, well, we're just going to cut off your funding unless 50% or unless all 50 countries join in and pass the SAVE Act.
Well, see, that's also some bogus stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
That you have to, come on, are you serious?
You have to what?
The SAVE Act, look, it's all a manipulation game. That you're trying to lay the foundation. Okay, you're sitting up talking about fair elections. You're sitting up talking about they're going to cheat and they're going to do that. Why are you sitting up 6 years later worrying about an election that you know you lost? It's not up for speculation. You got on the phone and called the Secretary of State in Georgia and asked for several thousand, over 7,000 votes.
You did more than that.
But my point is that was illegal. If you know you won, why would you be asking someone to find you X amount of votes since you know you won and the counting is not over yet? Tell me why you would do that. Why are you sitting up worrying about Georgia instead of worrying about this war in this country and the disparagement that you would put upon the people?
My only answer to that would be, and I'll go on a brain freeze. He's stupid because people have even smaller courts have caught on to his childness, and he's begging and pleading the courts and stating, paraphrasing, well, just do me this one little favor. Just do me this one little favor and I'll pay you for it. That's not how things work.
Ask yourself,
and
why?
By the way, didn't he complain to 68 other court or 63 or 68 other courts, and they basically all told him to go sit down somewhere?
Well, yeah. I sit up here, and I would like for Travis.
No.
I would like Travis to explain to us, because we know he knows it all. Why exactly is it, since you're saying Trump destroyed all their nukes? In June of last year, you destroyed all their nuclear weapons and nuclear facilities. That came out of Trump's mouth. If you destroyed them, tell me how less than a year later they're back.
Not
Travis.
Well, here's the thing. America wanted to borrow things from Iraq the first time around, told them to give us their weapons and we'll provide them with money and such sorts. You basically just stole all their weapons and didn't give them anything in return. And then when Obama got in office, he gave him a check he gave them a blank check and stating, you will not create a nuclear weapon. Signed, sealed, here, and delivered. Who came and tore that up his first term? Trump. And now, his second term, he is doing the exact same deal that Trump did, or that Obama did. Tell me how that makes sense. Or there was no negotiating because there was nothing to negotiate with.
Not only does that not make sense, you gave them 3 times more.
3 times more.
Obama. Now you tell me what type of governing is that? You tell me what.
Unfroze their bank account.
Yes. Well, he removed the sanctions on Russia. And by the way, Ukraine just lit Russia up. I mean, lit them up like a birthday cake. See, you may think you're bigger and badder than someone that is smaller. But for all you're down looking on the Ukraine, this country has not invented a drone that can destroy the type of drones Iran is using.
That is
the Ukraine has. The Ukraine has developed the technology and the type of drones to destroy them. But, Ukraine is considered a lesser. But you know what I look at? You have big bad Russia with their Putin. They cannot stomp out Ukraine. There is something to be said for a small country to be able to stand up to Goliath. And this is not just a couple of years. This has been going on a very long time. But you ask yourself, why is it that the president of the United States hasn't went to Iran for any negotiation? Why is he sending J.D. Vance and Rubio and these people? Why isn't he going?
Oh, can I answer, please?
Okay.
Because he doesn't want to get unalived over there. He steps foot anywhere because he's been warned. And even Jasmine, it's kind of funny. Jasmine, ain't nobody want to harm that boy. Yeah, right. They are already with Trump signs, and it's ridiculous. But anywhere where he's caught, he's gonna be unalived. He's gonna be unalived because you cause too much trouble, you cause too much pain. You try to sneak a couple of ships into the Amuz. And you were given warning shots, and you had the nerve to say that they were being disingenuous, and you fired shots right back. You want to prove so bad that you are Obama, but you are not him. Even Ross Perot is better than you, and he wasn't even president. I can't believe I said Ross Perot. Why do I have Ross Perot in the brain? Anyway, but the fact of the matter is that you spent over almost $1 trillion on this war alone. that I wonder what not Putin but the other guy, what the other guy thinks thus far. Because even you two had a little argument, had a back and forth discussion with whatever you were discussing about, and you told him basically to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I would be careful of your words and what you say to certain people. Because Kim Jong-un could have destroyed you. But since you want to play these games with economics and you want to play these little bullshit ass games with Putin, you want to be best friends with Putin. You want to be best friends with Kim Jong-un. You want to be the best friends with the president of Pakistan. You want to be presidents with the people in Cuba, which I still don't get why you're fucking with Cuba. I don't get it. Why? Because there are like 600,000 of them that want to leave. You have 6,000 people who want to leave Cuba. And why? Because of Fidel Castro, his ghost. Now, Lisa, just imagine if you have that many people come to America. You know that would possibly maybe spell the end of African Americans today. But never mind that. Who are you going to get to vote? Who are you going to get to vote for your mans now?
Well, that also is a part of governing, is that you can think you have all these great ideas, right? Like the redistricting maps.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, you set up and didn't get the support of your party on these things. Other Republicans now are saying, well, the redistricting affects us as well, and it's not necessarily in a good way. Hey, Vaughn, ask yourself, for all those people who feel that minorities, the blacks, the browns, of which they're the ones they mostly target, why is it that if you are not threatened, that you have to break the rules or rewrite the rules? The rules are that you're not supposed to make changing to the Voting Rights Act close to an election. Mm-hmm. The redistricting maps generally are done after the census. Yeah, check it out. The only reason is what Trump is doing now. He's planting a seed, trying to cultivate the seed of doubt in the elections. Mm-hmm. But so far, all of the elections in the past year, 99% of them, Democrats and liberals are winning. Because as I alluded to earlier, there are some people that don't buy his crap. There are some intelligent, I just can't turn my head because I can hardly pay my rent and put food on the table. I'm already working 2 jobs. Now I've got to get a 3rd job because we can't survive on this amount of money. But you have those other people, they can't be honest enough to admit that these things are reality.
They will soon. Hold on, Lisa.
Well,
hold on, Lisa.
Ben.
Let me. I want to play just a small little snippet of Mr. Mullins discreetful bullshit.
Depth than what we were able to expose last night, because President Trump, he hit the highlights, and those should be scary for everybody. What we're going to do is dig in just a little bit deeper, and then we'll take some of your questions. So first of all, Department of Homeland Security, we've identified 250,000 non-citizens registered to vote and just forced.
Registered to vote doesn't mean they voted if they were registered, but we needed proof.
Four states. We've identified 250,000 non-citizens registered to vote in California and Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Nevada. We also worked with proactive states to identify 28,000 non-citizens on their voter rolls, plus 400,000 individuals that are still registered to vote that are deceased. Now, these 23 states, they proactively worked with us on the SAVE program. That's Georgia, Ohio.
Okay, let's get to that. He said 23,000 in these states that cooperated. Okay, let me tell you something. How they got the 23,000 is they have a database that they created that was unlawfully created. It violates several privacy laws. The United States has a law that says specifically the United States government is prohibited from creating a centralized database made of different.
I want everybody to take a snapshot of this. M-03-22. MOB guidance for implementing the privacy provision of the E-Government Act of 2002. Everybody get a screenshot of this because it's the only time I'm going to actually do this. This is the screenshot, ladies and gentlemen. Facts. Facts over feelings. Feelings? Fuck them. Fuck them. There's your screenshot.
Agencies for the purposes of scoping it through and find out information. So this database violates several laws that he's talking about. I'm sorry for you blue voters who live in those states. So the red voters, I mean, you voted for this or you voted for Trump, that's on you. And the folks who cooperated, he said they found 450,000 people were deceased. Deceased people don't vote. When they die, they might not be purged off the data rolls. It only matters if a deceased person, the name of the deceased person actually goes and votes. So far what they've shown us is not that any voted for. They showed us that these 230,000 or whatever people that were registered to vote, which I'll give it to them, yes, they were registered to vote. So, okay, yeah, they're registered to vote. I'll give them that. And the 450,000 people on the dead on the rolls, yeah, sure. If they don't vote because they're dead and so they just weren't purged, or if the people were registered but they just show up.
Interesting to me.
Your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are this, as I stated a moment ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's trying to cultivate deception. He is trying to divert people and twist it and turn it into something it's really not. You know, they just had the postal master up on the Hill questioning him. They were trying to create a list of people who are voting by mail, absentee ballot. And what they wanted to do was document who they are voting for, and create this database so they could keep track. And then Trump would decide out of that list who could vote and who couldn't vote. But another postal worker turned it in. And it's like this. Ask yourself, why is Trump trying to do this? Because he needs an excuse to cause a whole lot of unnecessary trauma because he knows he can get in front of a teleprompter. I don't care how many employees, I don't care how many reporters, of whom it may not be. The majority of the country that can think for themselves instead of waiting to be programmed by Trump totally understands that just because you say it's something doesn't mean it's that way. You have the Republicans in the House and the Senate that are pulling away from Trump, that are not supporting his SAVE Act because they realize it is going to affect their elections. So, of course, things like what you're saying and McMullen, he was like that when he was in the Senate on several of the committees. And when we talk about fraud, I've not heard any of these people break it down. When they talk about fraud against Medicare or the food stamp place and Medicaid and all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Do you know who the fraudsters are?
Mostly Republicans.
Well, I'm not totally sure about that part, but they are not everyday people. Like they are trying to make it seem. They are trying to make it seem as though you have everyday American people that are using these dead people's name to somehow get benefits. The fraud that they're talking about with these programs, it is not the people. The people, if you look it up and research it, that have been found to create all of this fraud are the doctors and insurance companies. Which everyday person. And if a person were to sit down and think about it, how exactly do you think the everyday American...
Hold on. This dude's making my dick itch. Each and every time you say you're a proud American, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? You're a proud American. If you're such a proud American, why don't you help the people? Why don't you help those people out who are victims of Epstein? Why don't you help those people out, huh? Why don't you help those people out who are thousands upon thousands of white folks who are homeless in America? Why don't you help those people out, Mr. I'm so proud to be in America? Why don't you, possibly a Republican, I don't know if you're a Republican or possibly independent or whatever, but you don't sound Democratic to me. And I'm not a Democrat, I'm an independent. But you sound too alt-right, my dude. Too alt-right. What is so proud of being an American? What part of America is to be proud of? Freedom? You had to be dumb to be free. That's why they call it that. There is no freedom here in America. Because if there was freedom here in America, millions of Black Americans wouldn't be lynched. You got to be an idiotic fool to think that you are definitely free here in America if you're a different ethnicity. But you're not a different ethnicity. You're probably white, which you are privileged. You are privileged. You're on that Mount Rushmore. Millions of Americans die each and every single day. And it's because of your government shipping drugs here into this country, making deals with other criminals, making deals with other people to get drugs into this country, because guess what? Stocks, bonds, money, fuckers. It makes money. War makes money. Drugs make money. You ever heard of the words, do not get high off your own supply? You forgot about that? And Trump, all Trump is doing is just strengthening your resolve. That's all he's doing. He has nothing to do with anything else other than stealing money and just strengthening your resolve because he is white and he is dumb as fuck. Lisa, go ahead. Stupid American. I'm a proud American. What the fuck does that mean? Fucking clown. Just a fucking clown. I'm a proud American. I'm a proud American. Fuck you and America. How's that? Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. How's that? You tell whoever you got. Why don't you go ahead and tell Jake Long I said you can kiss my ass. How's that? Why don't you tell Richard Spencer I said kiss my ass? How's that? Why don't you tell David Duke I said kiss my ass? How's that? Kiss my black ass. How's that? Yeah, proud to be an American. If you're not an American, you need to get out of our country. What, the country that we built? The country that we put on our backs? The country that we lost a limb, an arm, a leg? Damn near our lives coming over here on slave ships? Basically, you benefit off of us, and we're supposed to leave this country. Boy, if I wasn't a Pan-African, oh shit. I'm done, Lisa. All right. Hey, I had to get off my chest, it's just stupid people. Stupid people win stupid prizes. I'm calm.
Okay, you good now?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Well, I just can't.
Your white mama can suck the back of my nuts. Now, go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. You get it all out. Why not?
No.
I'm going to say this for both streams. Tonight is not the night. I am not going to deal with your ignorance and your language. If you feel like you have to come over here with that derogatory language and laughing about slavery, you got the right one now. You can leave or I can help you leave. And that's all I can say.
Lisa, it's totally pointless. You're at a country right now.
Well,
I understand. Other countries, this is the freedom that they're talking about. You and I both know that this is what they mean by freedoms. And I even heard something the other day, right? When Mike Johnson and the crew were up here talking about Cuba and what's going on over there and how Bernie Sanders is a communist and blah, 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 and all types of stuff. And we should be proud to be this and we should be proud to be that. Well, the thing about it is, when it comes to this internet, people have only this to hold on to. People have only these things because they don't have any other thing. They don't have any other skill sets. They have what they have, and what they have is was based on what other people would give them. And they believe they were given crumbs because they were being promised by the Democratic Party. But then again, it goes to the Republican Party. No one says a word. But when it comes to the Democratic Party, now everybody wants to riff and rave and talk all this nonsense. You put a black man in there and he does nothing for 4 years. You put a white man in there that doesn't even have, well, he has education, but he's not on the dean's list. They think he is the greatest thing since sliced bread because they believe that you're going to give them something. And quite frankly, Trump hasn't given the American people anything. Nothing. But a bunch of nonsense, a bunch of wars and rumors of wars. And the Capitol in Washington, where at least 17 police officers were injured. I guess that's why he got impeached the first time. And why people who got impeached, like Kim Paxton, for example, how they get a second chance at their seats is quite mind-boggling to me. But I guess this is the reason why you told me, and I believe it, how justice is tangled up in red tape bought off by the gray. Justice is fucking blind. There is no justice. There's just only corruption. Only corruption in America. But it's good over here because you don't have to deal with communists, quote unquote, over on the other side. I'm gonna shut up.
No. Go ahead. Because see, it's like this. If you think, okay, if you think that the suffrage of people is somehow funny, you're deranged. To sit up here and downplay people's role then and now is shameful. Sit up and feel like you need to infiltrate a place where you bring no logic, but you bring this sick humor that is not funny. Go where you're welcome, but don't come over here and think that you're going to disrespect Black people or the host or other people in the chat. We're trying to have a serious dialogue. We do not mind people that do not share the same opinions. But what we do expect for people to be respectful, not call people names. That's so immature. And when you come over here laughing about slavery, you're in the wrong place. So you need to move on.
Well, because at one point in time, we enslaved their ancestors. But
is an immigrant. Their wonderful president is an immigrant.
Oh no! Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. Too much like right. Don't tell him that. Do not tell him that. Don't tell him that his grandfather was such an asshole that he didn't even join the German military. That he fled to America and got rich off America. He got rich and then came back and was rejected. Oops.
Well, my thing is this, that what we were discussing, and the topic was supposed to be specifically about the presidential decisions that are being made and the administrative decisions and the way that they are being conducted. That is what we were talking about. We weren't talking about who's purple, who's green, who's this race or that race. And yet and still, you have these race baiters that do the same stuff all the time. But Lisa Carter will not sit up and be in any chat that someone's going to sit up here talking about they're laughing their ass off at slavery. Same ignorance every time that person comes in this chat. Certain people, I see their name over and over, and they know the disrespect is not something we welcome. We welcome opinions, because all that disrespectful mess is a diversion, and it speaks volumes about whomever is thinking that way, or their comrades in here that they feel like they are given a high five. Because at the end of the day, we all are affected one way or another from this administration and things that are being done by both sides of the aisle.
Okay. Tell me one. Tex, give me one big fact about Donald Trump and what he's done for this country. Give me one big fact. I'll bet y'all debunk it in seconds. Give me one big fact.
He's a liar. He's corrupt. He's disrespectful. He's a predator. He's a narcissist. I mean, everything is Donald Trump.
Oh, you mean the same black colleges that was already signed under what's his name, Sleepy Joe? He's basically, dude, we're not gonna do this. He's basically taken the things of what Joe Biden has done, erased his name and put his name on top of it, and just give him a little extra dollars here and there. That's all he's doing. He's just giving them extra money and saying, "Follow me." Come on,
well,
you can't be this naive. You can't.
Well, that is what part of what we were discussing. And like I said, you don't have to believe what I say. You don't have to support what I say. But one you do know, and I know I'm accurate on it, I know that Trump ran as a candidate based on, he was the candidate of peace. Now let's stop with that one and just look at that one first. You said you were the candidate of peace. So you understood during your campaign, the country did not support another war in the Middle East. Because that's what you ran on. You ran on your first day in office, how you were going to address and change the prices of groceries. You have set up and done everything you can to enrich your life, your family's life, business partners, and friends. And yet, and still, we have people that come to this chat and want to corrupt about those things like there's something to be proud about. It's something to be proud about when you have a president of a country sit up and allow millions of dollars in food to sit in a warehouse and spoil. For what reason? To accomplish what? Sitting up, calling a thing does not make it true. Everyone in the world, not just this country, can see how corrupt this administration is. I'm not talking about one single incident or even 5 or 10. This is a man that likes to call women the B word because they're asking him a question as a journalist that he doesn't like. This is a man that sits up and says, grab a woman by her private parts. This is a man that just had to pay millions of dollars that a jury of his peers found him guilty of. This is a man that has been convicted 34 times. This is a man that is going to hide other pedos and other sick people who have destroyed God knows how many young girls and women's lives. This is a man that shows you constantly he can do whatever he wants. The rules are not for him. This type of man that in the world, not just Americans, not just one country or a third world country, people cannot trust him. His word means nothing. And for a person to be president of this country,
an unfit president, I might add,
word should be paramount. The rules should be the rules. When you sit up and you have attorneys who have sworn to uphold the law, but when it comes to their client, they'll be like Michael Cohen and lie and end up in prison. You have people that are protecting people who feel like it's okay to be disrespectful of the suffering and pain Jeffrey Epstein invoked on women.
Oh, before you even go there, fact sheet. Biden and under the Biden and Harris administration, Biden and Harris administration announcement, $1.3 billion in an additional funding, a record of over $17 billion in total support for historical Black colleges and universities, HBCUs. Now let me go to Trump. How much did Trump raise, or how much did Trump give these? Trump shifts 435 million. 435 million. 435 million. 435 million to HBCUs as other minority services colleges lose funding. So what Biden gave them is, or what Trump gave them is more or less than what Biden has given HBCUs. Go ahead, Lisa.
Back to some of the points that I was just making.
Yes, ma'am.
These are not my assumptions. They're my interpretations of the law or anything else. These are facts. These are things that if you don't know them, you can take the time to research them and find out that what I said is accurate. For people to sit up and say this is a great man who sat up and caused the death of 200 children. That says a whole lot. I'm talking about little girls that were doing nothing wrong to that country or this country. They were accountable for anything other than going to school to get
an
education. These are things that if you're going to be honest and factual and not come over here just to be spouting some crazy stuff that everybody that can think for themselves or want to prove something to someone else, they do the research before coming over here talking about they're laughing about this and so-and-so's that. You have never in the history of this country had a president that has done so much distasteful, law-breaking issues than Donald Trump. What has Donald Trump done to help the country? I'm not talking about a few. I'm talking about the country. I'm talking about how many people's lives have truly improved for the better.
Why y'all so quiet now? Why y'all so quiet? Usually I get more people who attack me than anything, right? Obviously they ain't here, right?
But, you know, Lamont, it's like this. And I said a couple of times tonight, I say it often. You have to realize there are people that don't eat the truth. It's not so much they may not like women or they may not just like this race or that race. These are people that reject the truth or choose to look at something and decide it is factual and truthful when it is not. We had no business in this war. The president, nor any of his staff, or any elected official put before the country and asked, I tell you what, let's vote and let the people decide if we go forward with this war. Because after all, it's not white people's money. It's not black people's money. It's not just immigrants' money. There's a reason why Donald Trump and his administration and cronies do things the way that they do. There's a reason why he dismantled multiple agencies. And it wasn't because, oh, they had all these uneducated blacks, or they did this for blacks, or this was for blacks. No, it was for none of those reasons. The reason was they were watchdogs. The agency like Consumer Affairs.
He didn't even want to sign.
Could go and complain and file serious complaints about businesses that were doing certain things, whether you were a merchant and someone higher up did something. Why dismantle that? Anybody who could have had a hand in preventing Trump from doing the things he's done, they get rid of. He went over there to the Kennedy Center and fired every single person that was Democrat except one, and put in the people he wanted, what I call them yes men. He put them in so he could get his name put on the Kennedy Center, which you don't get your name on a building like that while you're alive. Donald Trump just had a ship named after him. You don't get ships named after you until you are dead. And generally, it's not the president who decides who and when that happens. You do not have an airport. Did you hear about that? Donald Trump just had his name put on an airport. Yeah, I can't think what's right, but by the airport now being named Donald Trump, that means he can generate revenue by putting his products in the airport to be sold because it's the Donald Trump. All the slick, underhanded ways that Donald Trump does things, and yet you still have people that want to call other people names when we didn't make Donald Trump do this. I don't know any Republican people that I know that signed up for this. This is not what I hear Republicans or independents or Democrats. Nobody has ever said they voted anybody in office to do the things to the extent that they are doing. There is something definitely wrong when somebody feels that it's okay for us to use missiles that cost anywhere from $3 to $5 million, and it takes up to 2 years to make just one, to shoot down a $20,000 drone. How smart is that? How smart is it for a person to support that? How smart is it to think about this war has cost over $350 billion, and what that could have done for our veterans? How many soldiers that have lost their mind? How many have lost limbs? How many are homeless?
But you didn't want to go in the military.
Them. How many scholarships could that have been given? How many businesses could that have helped open up? See, to me, there is a bigger picture. There's not this picture of somebody is so great. And if we want to look at that, when was America great for Black people? And I have to go there because the people that say they're supporters of Donald Trump / MAGA, that is what MAGA means, make America great. When was America great for some people? And when I say some people, I am talking about Black people, but I'm talking about poor people primarily. When has this country ever been great for people of a certain class and educational background? When was that?
And we are not just talking about yesteryears. We're talking about today's. We're talking about this century. Just a couple of names and faces have been replaced. Nothing is the same. Well, everything is the same. It's just all in different formats. All in different formats, same, different faces, different ages. That's all it is. That's all it is.
I mean, if we even, you look at what has happened in the last couple years. Look at how the judicial system has walked back history.
Mm-hmm.
All the progress that has been made in multiple areas, it's gone.
Gone.
How many people are okay with their rights to decide who they want to elect to represent them? I don't care if they're a person from Mars. That is my vote to decide who I want to use it for based upon my ideals, my family values, my economical survival. How can it be that you're okay with someone sitting up talking about I have donors, investors, It's going to not cost the American people anything, only to come back later. Oh, well, yeah, the American people are going to have to pay. We're going to set up and create a fund to pay people for storming the Capitol. Then, if you further look into it, and Todd Blanche testifies, well, it's for anyone that has been victimized by the federal government. Okay, so it's for anyone that has been victimized by the federal government. How about this? Does that mean it's for the 40,000 voters in Louisiana that court decided to ignore 40,000 votes? They are victims of the federal government. And this, I can almost guarantee you, it's multiple races. It's not just one race. You know, if we truly want things to change and not be goggled down in hatred and spew venom, we have to start looking at things in a different way.
It'll be a long time from now. You're not even, but this guy is not even brave enough to sign on something into well, it's in law anyway. But you were too dumb enough to not sign anything that would help your benefit as well as everybody else's, because people who need, let's just say, the bipartisan housing bill. This bipartisan housing bill could help millions and millions of people who need housing, right? But you say no to it because President Trump has officially agreed to sign the bill, but later cancels the signing ceremony, saying he would not approve it until what? Congress passes the Save America Act. And the Save America Act, ladies and gentlemen, it does one or two or three things. Number one, it's going to take away people's voting rights. People, meaning yours, Lisa, because you're married to your husband. Unless you have your last name matches your birth certificate, you can't vote. And that cuts down, and of course, immigrants too. That slices a third of voting in half. He's making it seem as if 100 years from now, Democrats won't have the staying power to vote. 100 years.
Who's lying? Who's lying? About what?
Lying. Who are you talking? That's not even true at all. You're lying. Okay. Oh,
and
what am I lying about?
EU or what? And what are they addressing?
I would love to hear this. What am I lying about? I think people are shocked to hear this, but in this case, I ain't got to lie. The facts is right here, right in front of my face. All I got to do is just read it to you. President Trump has initially agreed to sign the bill the Bipartisan Housing Act, or Bipartisan Bill, 21st Century Road to Housing Act. This basically helps the single mothers and single fathers, but it helps people around the country And this could help his base along with everybody else, and this could put him up in points. But since he's too stupid to even sign the thing it's already in law anyway because of how many votes is passed. So you're saying if you are married, you can still vote? Not if the SAVE Act is in effect. You can't do it. He's not going to allow you to do it. You know why? Because he doesn't want women to vote. These are women he doesn't want voting. Where'd that thing go? Where'd that thing go? Because he even said it himself. Do not delete him. Do not delete Millie. Whatever you do not delete. He even said it himself. If your license, your birth certificate, or your license does not match the birth certificate, you cannot vote. This is coming from his lips. Not mine, not Lisa's, not Barb's, not anybody else's. Not anybody else's in the chat. This came from his lips. They are stating locks is incorrect. I could pull it up, man. That's not in the bill. Okay. So you say I gotta look him up to prove to you that I'm right and you're wrong? Okay, cool. Go ahead, Lisa. Question. Why did he accuse Obama of being president at that time? What did he say Obama at that particular time? Because he should not be president because of why? Where is his what?
Citizenship.
Where is his citizenship? Where is the birth certificate? That's mainly what he had stated before he even became president. Obama came out with a fake. Oh yeah, you trolling heavy. Go ahead. This dude trolling heavy. Oh well, wait, hold on. Before you even go, hold on.
Is by just in 23 states, what can we find? We have all 50 participating with us. We know, talking about our machines, we know for sure that our foreign adversaries, not our allies, foreign adversaries.
They're not saying, well, we don't secure elections. They're saying you cannot, it's unlawful for the United States government, before you came into office with this cockamamie plan, it's been unlawful for the United States government to do that because the United States government values the privacy of its citizens. While you're looking for illegal immigrants, you're going to be accessing a lot of private data from a lot of people. They do have the rights to have their information cross-database looking for other stuff. They don't want to create that database. We don't want that because that's horrible because it could be misused. And this is stupid. And before, really quick, let me tell you something. Todd Lyons, before he used to be the acting ICE director, before he resigned, went in front of an oversight hearing, and he said that he boasted that last year, 2025, that ICE detained and arrested 400,000 people. He was boasting. And in that same breath, he said we were targeting 13,000, like 7,000 targets, like known terrorists and another whatever people. That was our target. And so Lisa Johnson from California said, you didn't realize that's 1%. So you're terrorizing 99% of people to target 1%. This is an example of it. So because they're saying there's 235, think about how 230,000, even 450,000 compared to the millions of people in the United States and the billions of votes. So tracking down those people, they want access to all of our data. So the activist judges were not activists. They were saying this violates the law. Is it activist for a judge whose job is to determine whether something is legal or not, to say, yeah, it looks like this violates the law? That's activist. He said they don't want to be voting. We're appealing that, and you're going to appeal and lose because the Supreme Court, anyway, they're going to lose.
Obama was born in Hawaii, wasn't he? Lisa?
Yes.
Okay, so Obama was born in Hawaii. Hawaii is a part of the United States, correct?
Yes.
Why does he need a birth certificate? Why?
The
Because
reason
his father was just because his father was Kenyan?
The reason he needs a birth certificate because there are people that choose to believe what someone else says, regardless of whether it's true and factual. I mean, all you have to do is really think about it. If you don't want to research it. Long before he ever thought about being a senator, running for a senator or president, in college, he was the first Black man to be the president of the debate society. Now, let's just think about that. He had no intentions on being in politics. He was in law school just like his wife, who, by the way, left her job making $1 million a year to give her love and supporting her husband's dream to run for president and ultimately be a 2-time president. It's easier for people to accept a lie that someone else is putting out there, especially when the person telling the lie knows there are going to be people who are naive enough to believe it. Some people will justify anything by any means. I would rather have somebody, let's just say hypothetically, that wasn't born in this country rather than someone whose family is an immigrant that is disrespectful of women and minorities, a person that sits up and does not act very presidential, a person that has a lack of respect for other people.
He doesn't care. He does not care.
I mean, some people, like I said, they'd rather believe a lie than the truth. And I personally, I'm not a liar, and I don't support those who are habitual liars. To me, it would be one thing
but
if a lie.
It's selective outrage at this point. It's so self-importance. It's so self-importance. You literally have to look through upon a microscope to prove that you're not a criminal. Or if you are a criminal, you're going to have to prove more than facts beyond facts.
If people see, that's my thing. If people are looking for someone to represent them that is honest, that is family oriented, that we know for a fact is not an adulterer with a porn star, someone that is not good with money, that lies to the bank, lies to his friends, lies to his family, lies to everybody. A person that the whole world knows not to trust. A person that the whole world says he's a thug. Look at how he acts. Some people like someone representing them that way.
Mm-hmm.
I want a person that has solutions. I don't want a person who is creating problems like the mess that we're in now. How is he going to get us out this mess? He doesn't know how. Are we going to sit up here and continue to be focused on a man that was president decades ago, that is the most popular president in the history of this country, and the one that is the current president is the most less approved of in this country. Historically, you have never seen double-digit numbers against the behavior of Donald Trump, whether it's the economy, whether it's foreign affairs, whether it's gas, whether it's food. It makes a big statement when someone says, I tell you what, I'm not going to sign that housing bill unless you sign this. What is that? And how would, well, I own my home, so I don't care about your rent. But my point is, you're going to sit up and basically say, I don't care anything about a housing bill. I care about my SAVE Act. And now I'm going to pitch a tantrum because that's worked in the past. His big, beautiful bill hasn't helped any of us. Hasn't helped the American people in totality. There's nothing that he has done that has truly helped the whole country or the majority of the country. If you like that behavior, more power to you. But the statistics show at least 70% of the country, including Republicans, independents, and Democrats, do not support the endeavors that this president is, has, and will do. And it's just that simple. You have MAGA peoples, white supremacists, regular whites and black people constantly sitting here saying they don't like the job he's doing in any area that he's doing it.
Listen, I have problems with the man my damn self. But the fact of the matter is this. Can you prove beyond shadow of doubt that his birth certificate is fake? Can you prove it? Do you have documentation? Please tell me so I can put it in the chat.
The thing is, we were talking about this administration, Donald Trump. I understand, in these conversations, other presidents, members of their administration may come up. But don't understand why every time people that think and feel a certain way, they always have to Obama. That is so old and tiresome. Let's talk about Donald Trump and what he's done lately. Let's talk about his friend Epstein. Let's talk about Tom Homan, that the FBI undercover did a sting and caught him taking $50,000 cash that Kristi Noem or Pam Bundy or Patel could testify to Congress where is that money and what happened to it. See, people that come in these chats, they don't really want to base things on factual information. They don't want to sit up and say, look, let me look at how many marbles I have and what kind of marbles are there. Is this a winning hand or a losing hand? No. They prefer to sit up and elevate this man's ego. Yep. This is why you have people sit up and say, well, this person is race-based. This person is making this a racial issue. Well, I tell you what, we all know there are different rules for different people.
Oh, yeah.
When you are poor, you are held to a different standard of legality versus the rich. You can slice it and dice it however you want. But you tell me, who could commit 34 crimes and be found guilty?
It wasn't in a federal court of law.
And still be allowed to run president when you have to take an oath, swearing to uphold the law, and nothing you've done has done that. You had a conflict of interest when he was in office the first time, and he had his whole family up in the White House working, drawing paychecks. People don't want to talk about that. They want to worry about a birth certificate. People don't want to sit up and talk about how Medicare is not a handout. Medicare isn't welfare. Medicare is something each and every person that has worked legally has paid into, that we have no say. I don't get a say as I don't want to pay federal taxes. Matter of fact, I don't want to pay state tax. I don't get a say so. And neither do any of you that draw a paycheck. So why is it that people are so supportive of this man and these people stealing our money?
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Okay. They want to hear something about they want to hear something about Trump. Okay, cool. They want to hear something.
On this planet. In fact, I would create a TV.
We can do this. We can do this song and pony dance all day. Let's hear from Trump while he's on the Howard Stern show, giving some actuals about what he does with, women. Let's start there. Let's start how he loves women so much.
TV show for you where all you did was just judge women.
Now that may be the best idea of all.
It's a simple thing. It's a half hour, and we strip it out all over the
I
country.
would say I'm the all-time judge.
You own this pageant. You go over. You're meeting the girls and stuff. One of them comes up to you and says, "Mr. Trump, you're a very sexy man.
You're a beautiful man. You have fantastic hair.
But you're a powerful man, right? Right? You're a powerful man.
Right.
I want to sleep with you." Now, you're not the type that would say no.
I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Right. No, but I mean, you see a beautiful woman, you want to have that. You're a guy who likes to have everything. Right?
Well, couldn't that be construed, however, as
conflict?
Yes.
I don't see it as a conflict.
It could be a conflict of interest, but it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
The question is, how can it not be construed?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with the vagina. And,
well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that.
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clue. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
And of course, you get idiots that say that. Now, don't let me have to put in what he said about the 10-year-old. Do I have to put in what he said about the 10-year-old? Don't want to do that. It's like the right things get corroded. It's like accountability gets corroded. We don't never want to hold a person like this accountable for nothing. It's like you can't even march down the freaking street with signs that say impeach. He's a pig. Do you know what he said about his own daughter? Do you want me to do that? I mean, if you want to talk, Trump is the greatest thing in the world. What happened to all these people? All of these people that said that Donald Trump is the greatest thing ever. Where they at? Where they at? Can I get first of all, like the damn video, hit the damn whatchamacallit, the subscribe button, the like button, and do I have a hype button somewhere?
It only shows up sometime. I'm not sure why. I haven't seen it today because I would have hyped
so
you.
it actually is there.
It is? I don't see it. Let me hype you now.
So I do have a hype button?
It's not there all the time. I didn't see it when I came in. You know, I was trying to get up on the panel and I was having such a hard time trying to get through.
Nah, we gonna talk about Mr. Trump and how great he is. Let's talk about him. Let's talk about how great he is. Did you know he had? You know how many casinos he had in Vegas, and they were all bankrupt. And you wouldn't trust money to this guy. Come on now. Come on.
You know, I'm going to say this, to all these people who feel like Donald Trump's some kind of saint. Donald Trump recites this poem, and he's done it as some of the things he speaks to is called snakes. And he stands there and tells you, I'm a snake. You knew I was a snake before you elected me. I mean, what does that say? Explain that to me.
Thank you, Barb.
I told you.
What? You told me what?
You don't see it. Barb is telling you she doesn't see it either. I told you. I don't ever see it one time for you.
Wait. No, she sent me a false date.
Oh.
She sent me a false date.
You know, it amazes me when you sit up and you're discussing things that Donald Trump has done, has been convicted of, people who have chose to distance themselves and not do any further business with him because of the type of business and the way he does it. Nobody gets charged and a true bill is returned on them if there isn't any proof. You don't sit up and have a jury of 12 people listen to evidence and say guilty 34 times. You don't sit up here and have a judgment entered against you. You don't sit up here and have your son and your son-in-law and you banned for 3 years from practicing any real estate in that state. What? We have some people that are willing to accept anything if it is certain people. Even if I don't look at what he has been convicted of, he's guilty of so much more. So he's guilty of sitting up here shielding a man that he knows has destroyed many of a young life. Sit up and we have a man that stands here and does what he wants regardless of the laws. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows Donald Trump breaks laws all the time.
All the time.
But it depends upon supporters that refuse to accept and acknowledge the truth, even if it comes out his mouth.
Let me play a little. Let me play a little bit more of Mr. Trump and how good Trump is to the American people and how Trump is so good to women of America. Let's play a bit more.
Not really. It would depend on what was inside the magazine. I don't think Ivanka would do that inside the magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka were my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Oh, it's so weird.
Create her? Wait a second. I can't do that. It'll be copywritten. So
Guilty is and guilty does.
I will be copywritten. So let me.
Guilty in a gift while president when that's illegal to do. Guilty of letting out a narco terrorist, the biggest in the world, giving him a part. But you're all for the drugs on war. You're fighting crime. You're fighting drugs, but you're pardoning the biggest drug dealer in the world.
Oh,
I don't know.
Wait a minute. Here it is. Here it is. Hold on.
Proud of his daughter. Ivanka is a successful Ivy League educated businesswoman, author, and mother. She's now helping run his campaign and introduced her father at the Republican convention. Yet at times, his fatherly praise is downright cringeworthy, like on The View in 2006.
Said that if Ivanka were my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
It's so weird. Stop. You know what you are saying.
Far from protecting his daughter from being talked about as a sex object, he has encouraged it multiple times. On Howard Stern's radio show in 2004 and then again in 2006.
By the way, your daughter, she's beautiful. That's a piece of ass. She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous. She's tall. She's almost 6 feet tall.
In May, Ivanka described herself 2004 and then again in 2006.
By the way, your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of ass. Wait, your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of ass. Wait, your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of ass. She looks more.
That's the Trump that you serve? That's the Trump that you love? Oh, we ain't got to worry about that because, you know, it's not even worth it anymore. It's not. Because people don't want to hear the truth. And the truth is so diluted, like I said. But we'll run it back again tomorrow. And we're going to see, because I didn't even get to cover, what's his name? I forgot the guy's name. Todd Blanche. I didn't even get to cover Todd Blanche yet.
Did a little bit, but not much. Well, you lost a lot of time us trying to get me through on the panel.
That's fine. That's just fine because I know that it's going to come out sooner than later. You want me to do Mitch? You want me to do Mitch McConnell now? First of all, is he dead?
Who?
Mitch McConnell.
He's not dead.
Somebody said he was dead.
Yeah, they were saying that, and I heard, I think, on the news somewhere, one of those channels or something, stating that Lindsay had him dead, hiding him in Lindsey Graham's apartment. Why would they have to hide him anywhere? He has enough money in his family. It has enough